Welcome. I'm Julie Bacon, and you're listening to the Mindset Coaching for Handlers podcast, a podcast for dog handlers who are on a mission to achieve big goals. Here I share lessons, insights, personal stories, and tools you can apply during your next show, trial, or test to help you strengthen your mental game and hopefully cue more consistently. Be sure to check out the show notes where you'll find details about the episodes, plus important links, including the link to the Dogged Planner and Workbook created just for handlers on a mission. So if you're ready to improve your competitive mindset, get out of your own way, and connect with your dog like never before, then it's time to get comfy, bring an open mind, and work your mindset. Hey there, and welcome back to the podcast. All right, this week we're going to talk about having fun. And that might seem like a ridiculous mindset conversation to have. However, you would be really surprised how often having fun comes up in my coaching conversations. It comes up a lot, actually, is the spoiler alert. It comes up a lot. And it's interesting because I think all of us will say that we enjoy doing our dog sports, right? We're very passionate about it. We spend a lot of time, certainly a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of mind space thinking about it, obsessing about it even. We love doing it. You know, those things very easily roll off of our tongue, right? I love doing it. It's very passionate. I love my dogs. It's passionate. I can't wait to go to a trial this weekend. It makes me nervous, but I love doing it anyway. And all of those kinds of very, very positive things. Yet when I ask people if they are having fun, it stumps them. And I'm laughing because I understand it and it sounds kind of silly, but it's very true and it's very common. And I can personally relate to it. Like, I love competing. I enjoy dog sports. I am in it like 100%. Like, nothing's going to get me out of it, right? Like, I'm, enthralled with the whole thing. Yet if you ask me if I'm having fun, I might give you kind of the golden retriever head cock, because what I'm learning in all of these conversations with my awesome clients and all of you is that the word fun has really different definitions for everybody. Right? Some people think fun means frivolous, or fun is, going out to a bar in your 20s and not worrying about how you feel the next day. Or fun is, this like carefree, frolicking, no worries kind of thing. And I find that fascinating, right? If you ask me what I think fun is, it's a great question. I should have thought about this before I turn on the mic. But to me, there are runs that I'm like, man, that was fun. But I wouldn't describe everything about a weekend as fun, even though I would tell you, like, I enjoyed myself. It's a roller coaster, right? There are ups, there are downs, there are good times, there are bad times. My parking space sucked, the weather was terrible, but my dogs ran great, right? So does that make the weekend fun, or does it just have one run that is really fun? So for me, fun is when you're light and things feel effortless and there's a lot of joy and a lot of happiness and just excessive enjoyment, maybe? I don't know. But it does have a light quality to it. So I bring this up because what I'm finding is people's ability to have fun depends on their definition, right? We all have a personal definition. Of course, Webster has a definition, but we all have a personal definition of what fun is and what fun looks like. And yet, most of us want our dogs to have fun. So what happens is we take that definition that's in our head and we then apply it to our dogs. Oh, my dog doesn't look like they're having fun, or my dog looks serious, or, I can't tell if my dog's having fun, or do they even enjoy this? Should I be done with this sport? How do I know my dog's having fun? I just want my dog to have fun. Well, what's their definition of fun, right? For most dogs, it's working alongside us and doing things that they, are good at or enjoy or what have you. And I feel like all of us would know if our dog didn't want to play the game anymore, Again, whatever game you're playing, whether it's agility or barn hunt or obedience or what have you. Like, I know that when my dog, when I should be specific, when Moxie walks into the obedience ring, she's not having fun. Okay. I can tell that by a lot of factors. I can judge her stress level. I can tell by her ear set. I can tell by her performance. Yet when she walks in the agility ring, she is using her body. She's running. She has a lighter expression about her. She seems to really attack the course and tackle it, come out of the ring, all hyped up. And yet she probably didn't cue because, see weave pull issues. But that looks like a dog that is working and having fun. And then there are some sports like draft, which is kind of in between, in that the dog has to be more serious. There isn't a lot of space for what I'm going to call like bodily movement, right? I mean, they're kind of in this cart. There's shafts on either side of them. They're walking, they're not even really running. And a lot of dogs take it very seriously. And yet she has told the communicator, again, believe what you want, but she's told the communicator that's her favorite thing to do. Is she having fun? Apparently, yes. But in each circumstance, fun looks different. And yet we are putting our definitions of fun onto our dogs when we look at them and try to judge whether or not we're having dogs. We're humanizing them, of course. Amorphizing, but I can never say that word correctly twice, so never mind. I'm just going to say humanizing. So we put our human emotions, we put our human definitions, we put our human understandings and experiences onto our dogs when we are judging whether or not they are having fun. And I think that's dangerous because a lot of us can't define that for ourselves. So is fun something that we'll know it when we see it? Or like, what's the deal with that, right? So how do we know, and what is fun, and is fun the goal? Now, a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, last summer, I guess, I really set a process goal for Moxie to have fun. Okay. So I believe in having fun. Okay. I believe that it can be your whole goal for your whole weekend. You can set an intention for the weekend or an energetic goal for the weekend or a process goal or however you want to do it, that you're going to have fun in this run or this weekend or this sport or whatever, that you're only doing this sport, for instance, to have fun because you and your dog wanted something lighter. And that is a worthy endeavor to kind of, if you will, chase fun. Chase is in air quotes. You just can't see that. But that is a worthy thing to chase fun. But you have to know what fun looks like, because otherwise, how do you know that you were successful? How do I know that Moxie's having fun? Well, she's lighter. It doesn't look like drudgery to her. She's kind of in the cases where I think about her runs where she's had fun, she comes out sort of like proud of herself with that sort of look on their face when you want to prove to your non-dog friends that yes, dogs do smile, she comes out with all of that energy and all of that look, and I can almost feel that she's having fun as much as I can visually see that she is having fun. But that doesn't mean she's being frivolous. That doesn't mean she's necessarily being carefree. That doesn't mean she's shirking duties or, doesn't have a care in the world or is acting irresponsibly. But it looks very specific. So if we're going to put fun as a goal, especially on our dogs or especially like on a weekend or a performance, then we have to know how we define success. Like, then what does fun look like? Will you be able to tell me at the end definitively that your dog had fun? Okay. So I think that's an interesting question. And then right alongside that is, how do we know we're having fun? And how can we bring out fun in our dogs? How can we allow ourselves to have fun? Because I think that's another big thing. People think this is serious. I'm there to compete. I'm there to cue. I've got to do my process goals. I'm very intense, yada, yada. Like, I'm very intense as well. Like, when I trial, I love the game. I love testing myself. I love testing my dogs and us as a team and seeing if we can do this thing, if we can walk into that ring and, lay down the run that we need in order to, get to our process goals or make progress or yes, even cue. So I love that. Would I say that I'm having fun? I don't know. Now I would say, well, it depends how you define fun, because that is enjoyable to me. That is fun for me. But is it light and airy and without responsibility or without cares in the world? No, of course not. It's kind of intense. There's a lot going on. Is an Olympic skier going for their, last run of the competition having fun? I mean, their sport is fun. Is that moment fun? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I guess if it goes well, it's fun, right? But fun cannot be dependent on their outcome, right? Because then that's why when people walk out of the ring, they don't cue. They're not looking at their process goals. They're only looking at outcome to determine whether or not it was, quote, fun, or it was even a good or bad day or a good or bad run. That's why I'm always focused on process goals with you all. Like, that's what I want you to think about is, what are you actually focused on? So when we're trying to have fun as people, as humans, like, how are we defining that for ourselves? So the exercise I gave a recent client was to literally make a list of how you define fun. And don't cheat with Webster, right? Or, maybe don't cheat and ask synonyms or whatever yet. We'll get there. But like, literally make a list of like, what is fun for you? Like, how do you define fun? Like, and if you can't get there yet, name some times where you had fun and then find some characteristics of that. Does fun have to include laughter? For me, a lot of times it does, but I'm not really laughing in the ring on a great run. But yet it was fun. So maybe it has a certain kind of energy about it, right? You have to define that for you. And I think it's really, really important. I think people are skipping this. And that's why when they get frustrated with their dogs or their own performances over a weekend, they're like, we're not even having fun anymore. Interesting. So is your fun dependent on outcome? Is your fun dependent on progress? Is it fun for you to push yourself and to push yourself out of your comfort zone and make progress? Like, again, what is fun for you? Because kind of like knowing our why and kind of why we do this sport to begin with, like what is our cornerstone, our touchstone, and being able to define our why, we have to be able to define what's fun and what's success to us. And do you have to be successful in order to have fun? Or can you have a big old crazy run and still be laughing about it and still think that that was fun, even though it wasn't the outcome you wanted? So yeah, it turns out that fun is a complicated topic. Like, who knew, right? And I'm saying that, and again, I know my wonderful client and actually several clients who I've had this conversation are listening, and I'm giggling because I'm seeing myself in this conversation. Sometimes clients bring to me topics that I need to work on for myself. So I want all of my clients who we've had this conversation to know, laughing at myself right now and how interesting I think it is that fun is hard and that in a lot of ways we've forgotten what's fun. So another exercise I have for you all is to, think about, and I do this in my planner, which I'm 100% going to plug in a minute because the 2024 planner is out. Go get it. But what I do every year in my goal setting class and in my planner and everywhere you talk to me about like how to set goals, I always really push people to set joy goals. Right? Notice I didn't say fun. I said joy because I think sometimes it's easier to define. Again, don't know why, just kind of some psychological mystery. But when I ask people to define joy, I want to know in that moment, what makes your dog happy? What do they love to do? Right? For my dogs, they love the snow. Of course, they're Bernese Mountain Dogs, duh. But they love to swim. My dogs all really love the water. They love to go on a hike. I had one dog, Indy, who loved to just go meet people. Like she would have stood in the middle of Walmart and just met people. Her favorite thing was Meet the Breeds at any, show that had that for us. She was queen of Meet the Breeds because that's what she wanted to do, was just meet people. She had really great energy and she wanted to go up to people who she felt needed her. That was her role in life. So that was fun for her. So that brought her joy, right? Is it outgoing? Is it carefree? Is it light? Is it airy? No, but that's what she loved to do. So I encourage us each to find what brings our dogs joy. And then further, I encourage us to schedule joy during the week. Because let's face it, most of the time, our dogs do what we want them to do. We might want to work them. We might want to go to an agility trial. We might enter them in a barn hunt trial, but we did that. So we're controlling their 24 hours a day. So maybe we give them a half an hour off leash walk or something and they get to do what they want to do. But we're kind of in charge. So what is it that they would do if they could, right? Now, Moxie would kill things. So, that's not always on the list. But what is it that you can make sure that you are scheduling time so that they get to do their happy thing, right? And the same goes for yourself. What is it that you need to do during a week, during a month, whatever, to make sure that you are doing things that bring you joy? That could be, reading a book. That could be listening to music. That could be, taking yourself to a movie, taking yourself out to dinner, ordering, from your favorite place, right? There are days that Chipotle legitimately brings me joy, okay? Because it's doing something for yourself to fill yourself back up. So when we look at that, that's interesting. Would I say that Chipotle makes me happy or is fun? No, I don't think it is fun necessarily. But yeah, some days it brings me a whole bunch of joy. Okay. But we have to make time for that. And we have to understand that that is important because it fills us back up. When we drain ourselves too much, right? When we work at something without a lot of payoff, or we work at something really hard without scheduling in joy, yeah, we get frustrated and it gets tedious and it gets hard. And it's those moments where we feel like is the fight worth it? Like all of those things, right? Anything anyone in sport will tell you is the hard part. But we slug through it because we love the sport, and yeah, it's worth the effort. Okay. So in this, I want two things. I want you to really define what joy is for you, what fun looks like for you, how you can figure out if your dog is having fun, if you're having fun, if fun is even a goal. And for several of my clients, and I would even say for myself, fun might be too far a stretch at times, right? I'm not, I don't go to my national necessarily to, I don't know, like have fun per se, but I love it and I wouldn't miss it for the world, right? So both things can be true, or it's kind of tricky, or it's kind of complicated. Right now, I would say having a puppy is fun, but right now when she's trying to bite my face off because she's teething, that's not the most fun. Get off. So real life. So I want us to do two things. I want us to make sure that we're scheduling joy, even if we can't call it fun yet, and we are understanding how we each define fun, and if fun is a realistic and attainable goal right now. Because for some of my clients, fun is too far in the future to even think about. It's too big a goal. And so maybe enjoyment, you reach for enjoyment. Or maybe now you do get out the thesaurus and you look for that synonym for fun that you can get to. Maybe I just want to feel lighter in the day, or I want to feel that moment of, pure joy. The other thing about fun is sometimes from the outside, fun looks carefree or without responsibility or must be nice, to just be able to walk in that ring and not have any other care in the world. Like look at that little kid or look at that other person just having fun. And I think sometimes we're a little envious because we look at that and from the outside, it looks like they're letting go and that they have no other care in the world. But what if that person just had everything else like under control and just had, they everything else was taken care of. So this is the moment they could let go and be fully in the present. Those of us who don't have a lot of fun naturally, I think are also worriers or control freaks, or, just thinking about all the things we have to do, all the things that, that plague us, all the important things that have to get done. And that's all really being in the future, right? We're future tripping. We're thinking about the things that have to get done. We're thinking about our responsibilities and obligations, and we're allowing those things to shadow the current moment that we could be having right now, right? So yeah, it turns out fun is a complicated topic, and it turns out there's a lot of complexity to it. So I'm challenging you to think about fun this week, and think about, I don't want you to give up on fun, right? But I also want you to lower the bar a little bit and figure out what fun means to you, how you can have fun, if fun is attainable for you right now, but how you can at least bring joy to yourself, to your dogs, refill that tank of yours so that you are having fun even while you're doing the hard thing, or at least enjoying it, or, leaning into your passion or what have you, right? So I have no clear answer for anybody because it's going to be different for everyone. But I want you to really think about fun. I want this to be rolling around in your head all week, because the more you think about it, the more you'll look for opportunities to have fun. And the next time your instructor or somebody says I just get your dog to have fun, you'll be like, I don't know what that means. This is going to stop me in my tracks. I got to really figure out what this means. Okay. Before I let you go, I am going to go on about the new planner. 2024 Dogged Planner is out. The new workbook is coming any moment now. And it has a whole bunch of new things. We've rearranged some things. Basically, I asked you what you wanted, and pretty much everything short of spiral bound, which I can't do, I'm sorry, but I just can't, is in there. So it's got more title tracking pages. It's got little kind of printed tabs that you can see from the side view. It's got, we rearranged some things. We made some things easier. We added a breeder section or breeding section. We changed some words here and there. So it's just better. It's just all the same stuff you're used to. It's just bigger and better. So get it now so that you can start planning your best 2024 ever. And, you can go to the website, go to the show notes. The link is in there, and get it. I'm super excited about it. All right. That's it for this week. Think about having fun. Think about joy. Think about enjoyment. Ponder all of those deep thoughts. And no matter what you're doing this week, I hope you have a fantastic and potentially fun week with your dogs. Thanks so much for listening to the Mindset Coaching for Handlers podcast with me, Julie Bacon. I am so grateful for your precious time. Check out my Dogged Planner workbook and journal available on Amazon. Just search for Dogged Planner. I also offer monthly membership that's perfect for ongoing support of your awesome goals. Check out theqcoach.com for details, or just stop by and check out all the ways you can work on your mindset. And be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at theqcoach and let me know how it's going. Finally, please share, subscribe, and leave a review. This helps us podcasters tremendously. Plus, I know I get my best podcast recommendations from friends. Thanks, and have a great week with your dogs.